afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Sunday. Happy Easter, April 17th, 2022, a little after 3 p.m. Eastern. We become, I guess you could call it clouded or overburdened and overloaded with all of the media, the distractions, and learning how to drop our attachment to the media is important. And it's like a lot of people have already done. They unplug their TVs. And they make a plan where they just say, or a set commitment to themselves that I'm not going to watch it. And at first it's a little difficult, but when the outer TV goes off, our magical inner visualization TV turns on. In fact, the incessant accumulation of insignificant information that our minds absorb from, not many people listen to radio, but radio, TV, emails, newspapers, gossip, and other distracting sources will overload any clear functioning mindset and literally lower our manifesting vibrations. It'll lower our vibrational frequencies. Dropping all media input may seem like a radical commitment to some, yet it is a microscopic in comparison to becoming the master we all really are. And many people do not know that every night when each of us sleep, our mind has to take massive extra energy to process out all this extraneous information, invasive commercials, repetitive advertisements, fast, harsh visuals, and mentally addictive messages, so it can reboot, be clear to receive new information the following morning. It is truly an amazing experience to be free from the media. After you experience an absolute media cleanse for even 3 weeks, you will be able to see and know your own divinity. The divine mind we all naturally have will reinitiate its cosmic power, reinstate it. And our sacred imagination will finally have a blank canvas to paint our life's dream upon. And many people have gotten so caught up. Watching television weakens our mind's creativity muscles, which deadens our manifesting powers. Even the background noise of having it on prevents you from remaining relaxed and peaceful in your body. The images that flash on the screen can come so fast, like the flickering light in a fluorescent bulb. So think about that. They actually cause the brain, and think about this, they actually cause the brain to go into a hypnotic trance and stop you from being consciously creative and alive. This eventuality leads to the deterioration of our brains. Bad news. Commercials make us think happiness is attained from acquiring something in the outer world, while our poor inner world is left dry and unfulfilled without their product. Have you ever noticed how dead and empty you feel after watching hours of TV? Turn it off. It is time to get off your butt, take the risk to be more alive, and retire your TV. I bet you'll find that you have so much extra time to start manifesting your life's dream. Of course, there are a few TV programs that are truly uplifting, inspirational, and educational. Yet the time you spend focused on their message is time taken away from visualizing your personal dream life, manifesting into reality. You are wasting your precious time here on earth watching other people manifest their dreams. Isn't the greatest reward of life manifesting your dream? Is it worth more than seeing your favorite show again and again? Reprioritize your time, focus your energy only on your life, your dream, and feeling, seeing, and knowing it is manifesting. Eventually, we will see it come to life. Now, you may find it's actually quite soothing and healing to be free from the buzzing noise. This is an energy-sucking tube. Who knows, you might meet some amazing new friends or really enjoy hanging out with yourself. The greatest gifts in life are the friends you have. Virish. Manifesting your ideal social agenda. When we live with a healthy balance of time spent within our own cave and socializing in the world, something magical happens with our energy. We experience quantum leaps in our vibration and intimately learn about ourselves, our ego trip, and what an amazing person we truly are. It is very important to connect with other people intimately and have a social life. People are our greatest mirrors and reflect back that we most need to see, understand, and learn about ourselves. We have found that there is an optimum structure for allocating our time spent connecting and socializing with other people. Ideally, throughout each month, you want to spend 1/3 of your time alone, 1/3 with another, and 1/3 with a group of people or more. Now, we say this ideally since it may be unrealistic and pure torture to try and meet these requirements exactly to the minute of each week. Instead, adopt this as a fantastic social formula to shoot towards to create an amazing inner and outer balance in your life. Most people do not understand the power of a network. And a network, a lifelong network. And the lifelong network is constantly interacting with different people on the phone, in person, or in thought. And by doing this, you generate massive support and friendship. But see, a lot of people they don't understand that a network of people, interactiveness on an ongoing basis is super empowering, super. It is vital that you create a sacred time for yourself to be alone every day. Alone time is for you to meditate, read, write, and explore who you are more intimately. This aloneness can bring an awesome state of inner peace to your life. Early mornings and evenings can be the best time. Since many people are not awake yet, practice exploring feelings that arise inside your body. Notice, what are the sensations you are feeling? What stories from your past are they referring to? This is a time for you to connect with, heal, and give love to yourself. It is good to consciously look at your past and remember the most inspiring, dramatic, and amazing experience you have had. What are those key experiences you feel have formed you into who you are today? And remain curious as you explore yourself, and always create the space to relax into a more profound acceptance of who you are and what your life has been about so far. Alone time is always sacred when you are fully experiencing and mindful of exactly what it is that you are doing. If you are washing dishes, feel the warm water and slippery soap gliding through your hands. Listen to the sounds the water makes. Be present to your experience, whatever it is. This is the now, being in the now. The more present you can be, the greater you will naturally raise your manifesting frequency. An open heart and a relaxed body are much easier to achieve when you are in the present moment in your body. Simply be present to whatever activity you are experiencing, even if you are constantly rummaging around old memories up in your head. Being alone while deeply relaxed and in the present moment instantly connects you with the vast, infinite, divine presence, who you really are, which cannot experience suffering. Cannot experience suffering. This is much more challenging to find in a group of people, since their thoughts, energies, and intentions will be pulling at you from every angle. If you have difficulty being alone, then it's time to celebrate. You have met your Mount Everest. Intentionally spend time with yourself. It will be one of the most empowering things you'll ever do. Consciously choose to make time in your day to be alone and connect deeper with your innermost essence. Break through the fear and delusion of being separate from others and spend an entire weekend alone. It can be the most freeing and healing experience you have ever had. Loneliness can only happen. Loneliness can only happen when? When do you think? It can only happen when your mind is obsessing about the other and becomes attached to some imaginary fantasy idea about them. The mind believes that they are happy, dancing, laughing, and having a great time, longing for someone or dreaming about the good old days, is simply saying that the infinite, loving, universal source is not here now. This is the greatest lie you've ever been pulled into. If you still think your life used to be better than what it is here now, you are missing the point. The past is dead, and the future is yet to come. What is here now is what is real, magical, and powerful. Holding on to yesterday only makes you feel more dead today. Reconnect with your innermost source again, and you'll discover a feeling of peace, oneness, and aliveness again. Connecting with the divine presence instantly makes being alone a positive healing experience instead of wandering lost for years in illusions of loneliness. Choose to connect with and be socially, emotionally, and physically intimate 1/3 of the time with one special person in your life throughout each week. It may be the same person every day for many weeks, months, and years, or perhaps a fresh new person every day. Explore what level of intimacy feels right for you for that their day. Yet reach out past your boundaries, go beyond your fear of rejection, and energetically connect deeply with their innermost being. At first, you may feel resistance and deny doing this exercise, yet this is your ego blocking you from experiencing love. Decide to push through. Focus on what it is like to create a deeper, trusting, honoring, and sacred healing connection. Transcend those societal belief systems from your past that say being physically intimate in public is wrong. Doesn't it make you relax and feel free inside when you see two people in love, gazing into each other's eyes while holding hands in public? Just doing this exercise once a week with someone will support your desire to be alive more than you know. It just feels satisfying to the soul to connect with people. When we start to adopt those positive qualities that we see in them and would like to cultivate more fully within us, choose people who are generally positive, fun-loving, light-hearted about life, and have a sense of humor. They will be easier to connect with and help you feel more naturally excited about your life. If you do not know someone who fits this description, it is time to get out of your mini social pool and take a swim in the vast ocean. Who knows? You may just find that perfect goldfish spinning about in your community's social fishbowl. The challenge and opportunity here is for you to stir up a new conversation with anyone and start creating an intimate knowledge and authentic connection with them. The fastest way to make a new friend is to ask sincere questions about their life and be genuinely interested in what they have to say. In time, they will return that same interest in you. If you don't, and they can only talk about themselves, tell them what you are experiencing with them. If they are still wrapped up in themselves and refuse to soften and open up with you, let them go free from your life. There are so many wonderful fish in the ocean. If and when you feel an imbalance in the ratio of talking versus listening in any relationship, gently bring it to their attention. This radical, honest approach will do more for you long term than hiding and pretending you are enjoying the relationship. And many of us do that. A large part of feeling successful as a human being is having honest, healing, supportive, loving friendships. Sharing your natural ability of loving another human being may be one of the most fulfilling experiences any of us will ever have. Take a monumental risk today. Let go and let yourself really love someone. If you feel blocked and need help, move on and do all the things you can to move forward. If you still feel totally stuck after doing this, continue to move forward. Now, if you've been with someone for years and they are a complainaholic or insanely negative about you and everything in the world, ask them gently to focus on what they want instead of what they don't want. Be curious if they change. If they change, and never demand someone to change. This will only make them think they are deep in the pit of stuckness. If this person does not want to focus on what they want and will not keep this comment or commitment, then let them go from your life. Let them go. This may seem totally radical, yet it will communicate to them that they need to look inside themselves and reevaluate everything. This can create the most constructive, proactive state of being they've ever experienced in their lives. There are billions of other people on this planet. Why choose to remain feeling stuck with one that isn't loving, kind, and gentle with you? Choose your relationships based on how you feel about yourself when you are with them. Or if you'd like to be as spiritually evolved as they are in 5 years from now. If they can make you laugh, open your mind, or make your heart sing in any way, give them permission to be a great companion for the rest of your life. It has been found that the attitudes and energetic vibrations of those we choose to associate with greatly impact each of our manifesting vibrations. Increasing your manifesting vibration depends greatly on having healthy boundaries with yourself and others. Your job is not to be an energetic doormat for people to wipe their feet upon. If you consistently feel taken advantage of by people, it means you are caught in the victim game and attached to the poor me ego trip. The solution is to be rebellious and open your heart wider so you can let in all those positive thinking, enlightening beings out there in this world. If you have trouble meeting a high vibrational being, it's because your energy is wrapped up in some negativity about your life. Simply raise your frequency and you will attract someone on this higher vibration. There are more enlightening people in your community than you may be aware of. There are always new people moving in. And you haven't been intimate with everybody in your country yet, have you? So these are things that most people don't think about. But you remember, we're one. We're one. Everything is one. Now, you may not know that or think that because you're so used to looking at another person's body and looking at them as being separate, or, someone being down the street can't be part of you because you look at the body and not the God within. It's a feeling. It's a knowing. And building a friendship bonded network throughout your life is absolutely paramount. You learn. If you took a child and the child was with one set of parents, right? And all they learned was from those parents. Imagine if you took that child and the child was in a community, right? And there were many fathers and many mothers. Imagine how enriching that child would, with their life, and how they would perceive things as they grew. You see the difference? A child with one mother and father, the originals, and a child with not only the originals, but many others, learning from different perspectives, different experience bases. Absolutely paramount. We may see this in the near future of this civilization, where children are taught and they learn and pull from many mothers and fathers. Many. This is how we enrich our lives, by interacting with others. When you're held up all the time and you don't interact and you don't communicate and you shut your door and you haven't known your neighbors for 20 years, but they're there, and you don't care to have anybody know about your personal business, and how are they going to know unless you tell them? Always talking to people and asking them about them sincerely and genuinely. Ask them about them. And be straightforward and honest in a gentle way. If you're communicating with someone and you never can communicate with them because they're always talking and you're always listening, and no matter what you try to do, they usurp your ability to interact with them. Is that someone that you wish to be around? No. See, we always have the choice of picking and choosing. And then we always get concerned about hurting other people's feelings. It isn't about hurting feelings. It's about you knowing who you choose to be with and around. That's what it is. You choose. And by being with higher vibrational beings, you in turn will reciprocate. You'll be in higher vibrational frequency. But how many times have you been around people, we all have, and even ourselves, finding ourselves be like that, where we're down the mouth, where we're always complaining, always worrying, always stressing, always fearing, where someone says, well, that's a really nice dress you have on. Oh, this is an old thing. I just pulled it out because I didn't know what else to wear. That type of thing. Instead of, well, thank you very much. I really enjoy it myself. I like the colors. But these are things that we decide or we choose. And see, the thing that drains us is the TV drains us. We're sitting in front of your computer staring at things on the internet. It drains us. It preoccupies us. And it conditions us. And it numbs us. And so we kind of go into a reserve place. And how many times have you found yourself or others saying, I got to get home because I want to watch my favorite program? Say, watching others, which is fun at times. Go to airport, bus station, that type of thing. But in the long run, it's all about you. It always has been about you. It's never been about anybody else outside of you. And why is that? Because as we focus on ourselves, not in judgment, but through the heart mind and gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, we get to know ourselves. That's why 1/3 of the time being alone, when you understand what being alone is, because some of you do that, right? You might say to a friend of yours, or girlfriend, or boyfriend, or husband, or wife, I need time to myself. And if they don't understand that, then you're with the wrong person. I need time to myself. Well, that's great. And the other person says, it's time for us to have time to ourselves. If you don't know yourself, how the heck are any of us going to know anyone else? If we don't understand who and what we are from a loving perspective, how are we going to love anybody else? We're not. That's why you see so much conflict, disruption in relationships. It's all around you. So by knowing and getting to know ourselves really helps when we interact with others. So if you will, go to a place where you're not going to be interrupted. And I'm sure that we all are. And the first thing that we care to do, relax the body. Relax it. This is a way, when you're alone, you can do that. You can relax the body. You're not going to be interrupted. You focus on the breath. And the breath is real easy. It's easy in through the nose. Not huge gas, huge, really pulling in. But it's easy and slow. No hurry. Easy and slow with the breath through the nose. Where it doesn't tax you or stress you, but eases you, relaxes you, and easy out through the mouth. Slowly and surely. This moves us into the now. And it stills the mind, the ego, the subconscious mind. It leaves them alone. We leave them alone. See, we're no longer interacting with them like we normally would do. And we're watching them. And we're learning how to master them. And by being in the now, you do not worry, stress, or fear. You don't have revenge, hate, and anything. You're not in a hurry. That's all gone. All the noise chatter, the mind chatter, you might call it, that we all have 24/7, that's gone. And we aren't thinking. So we're not in the ego mind. We're in the heart mind. And we're always in the now. And that breath, the breath that we all have is sacred. It's divine positive energy. You as a God go into that body. We all do. We power these bodies quite significantly. And so the body supports the God. And the God's able to experience the physical form of the body and life, physical life. And it's the only way we master the ego mind, because all of that stuff that we're all engaged with, literally 24/7, is the ego mind. It's the ego mind. And by being in the now, there's no ego mind. It can't get there. It won't exist. It knows it. It will do everything it can to keep you out of the now. Hook, line, and sinker. It will do everything it can to keep you out of the now. Now, the body relaxes because we carry a lot. That doesn't mean that we know we do. We're not conscious. We carry a lot. You ever felt real heavy? Have you ever said to yourself, I really feel heavy, weighted, you know what I mean? Not just you've gained weight. It's just a heaviness that you feel. And it's because you've collected so much, not intentionally, but you've collected it and it stays with you. And remember, the subconscious mind copies everything the ego mind does. Everything. And everything is stored in our subconscious mind. Past lives, future lives, all that. And others. how things revolve around us, or move and entice us and constantly keep us engaged in this, that, or this and that. And most of the time we're not in relaxation. The body isn't calm. We're stressed usually. We usually have worries and fears, and we have doubts, and our faith wanes and at times, and see how preoccupied we are. And most of the things we're preoccupied with is outside of us. And we deny the fact. Many deny the fact that they're the God in the body. And addressing this with a no fear. Addressing it, saying, okay, well, let's line up everything and let's look at all of this and see where we're at with it. And see what I do want and what I do need and what isn't necessary to carry with me. You'd be surprised. So you do house cleaning. You go in your subconscious mind and you say, I don't need this, I don't need this. I'm going to take an inventory. That's gone. I'm throwing that out. This is useless. This is dead. It's been in the past for years. I had never revisited it. I have no intention of revisiting it. So why am I keeping it here? So it's kind of like you do house cleaning every so often in the subconscious mind. Now you can do this carefully so that the ego mind doesn't come in. And the subconscious mind, you're in the now. And everything happens in the now. So we alleviate the heaviness. We become more light and more lighthearted. And we get to begin to know each other, and we have a good, loving relationship with ourselves. We're gentle, kind, generous, humble with ourselves. Now, we put out 60,000 thoughts, plus, each of us, every day. We send these thoughts to the universe, right? Now, it doesn't mean that we know every thought we send to the universe, but we do send them to the universe. Then we have billions of thoughts flying by like clouds in the sky. They're programs, really. They're not our thoughts. They're everybody that's ever been on this planet, thoughts. So what does that mean to us? To stay in a relaxed state. To stay with the journey within. That's what it tells us. And in the now, people would, there's a lot of times where people who are in the now are asked by other people to project things. Where they'll say, where do you think you'll be in a year? And you'll say, I don't have a clue. Nor do I really care. Because the only thing that's real to me is the now. It's the only thing that we have is the now. You don't know that 24 hours from now if you're going to get up out of bed. You don't know that. None of us do. Say, with these bodies. So it's like every single moment in the now is paramount. Whatever that now may be for you. Sometimes we wander off. In fact, we wander off a lot. We don't do it intentionally. It's just that the ego mind, all these thoughts flying by. And so we'll grab onto one, right? Float off with it. Because we're so sure it's our thought. Well, it's got to be my thought. It's got my name on it, and it's connected with this. But it isn't, see? And every time we do that, and this is where it's really important to recognize staying in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal gratitude. we focus. We say, okay, so I floated off. Not a biggie. I'll focus on my breath and I'll be in the now. 3,000% of the time, every time. It's really good to know that we have these abilities to exercise, to keep ourselves in the now, how to get back into the now when we're floated off from the now. Now, we know we're not the bodies. We are consciously aware. Consciously aware means that we know that we are of and from the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love. And so we know we're not the body, the name, the character, the personality. We enter the body, and we notice there's 7 lights from the tailbone to the top of the head. Beautiful lights. I mean, nothing is way beyond the colors you see on this planet. And each one's a different color. And on this planet, they're called chakras. The definition of chakra is wheel. These are wheels of light. And they're connected to every part of this body, head to toe. Emotions, character, personality, organs, all the organics, all the way down to the quantum quark. So doesn't it make sense that when we decide, each of us, to go within, stay within within the journey, that we become intimately aware who and what we are, the God in the body, and that we are the power of healing because we flow through this. We're spirit etheric energy, omnipotently powerful. The chakras are spirit etheric energy. Once we make that connection, once we rediscover that we're the God in the body and the body, right, and what it is, we will then be able to heal these bodies in a blink of the eye. Now picture yourself standing 3 paths, right? You're in the center path, which is the now. You look to the left and you see the past path. You look to the right and you see the future path. Now, we're always curious, so we like to see how things are constructed. And so each path, trees have formed a canopy. And it's shimmering gold, the leaves, the bark, the branches, everything. The path itself is a brilliant emerald green flaming grass. It appears to be grass. Now, the thing you notice on all 3 of these is one on the left, the past, is very worn, and the one on the right, the future, is very worn. The one you're standing on, the now, looks brand new. Now, we all go into the past, and we have fun with it, because a song, or you'll just be driving from someplace, go through someplace, or walking, or just sitting somewhere, and you'll go into a reminiscence, and you'll embrace certain past experiences, and it's fun because there's a little euphoria in there because it was really enjoyable and you remember it. So we have a library. All of us do. It's called the subconscious mind. Library is vast for each of us. It's unending. There's no walls. You can't see the walls. It's so vast. And you got all these shelves and lockers and everything containing all this information of all the past and all the past lifetimes and future lifetimes, everything. And so at times when we reminisce, we go up there and we open the door and we turn on the light and we'll get some movies, some books and pictures. We'll sit in an easy chair and we'll watch some of the movies and read some of the books and look at some of the pictures. And we'll look at times, and even at times where we say, I remember that time and that taught me a lot not to do that again. Not to do it in that specific way again. Oh, this was great. I wish we could do that again. But then we take everything, we put it in its proper place, we turn off the light, and we leave. Move forward in life, and on occasion revisit. But see, some of us will be there so long, And I don't believe it's consciously. I believe it's unconscious. But we're so there so long that we end up taking that past, we bring it into a future that doesn't exist. We create that future from that past, and we relive that past and that future. This is why people will say no matter what we do, we always end up here. Now, we all go into the future because we want to know, because we're anxiously saying, I want to know. I want to know when this is going to happen. I want to know when that's going to happen. I want to know when this black cloud stops following me around, which actually you manifested for yourself anyway. So when we don't get answers, we seek out answers to our questions from external authority. And it's true, external authority, it can be astrologers, psychics, mediums, that will tell you things. You do this. You do the tarot cards. Put the tarot cards down, and each card has a meaning, and it's connected to things. And then you begin to realize that, this is okay. So, Jane, this is what is going to happen in the next 3 months with you, okay? Or Harry, this is what's going to happen in the next 2 months for you. Now, we look at that depending on how we believe. Now, some of us will believe it, and so we don't know it, but we'll manifest it thinking that it's going to come because this external authority told us that it was. Now, we manifest it, but we don't correlate it because we give that outside authority, that external authority, the credit that, well, they were right, spot on. Or other people that just kind of, don't take an interest in what is said, of course, but what it's said, and then they forget about it, and it doesn't happen, that they're still upset that it didn't happen in the back of their mind. And it's just, but see, when the people hear it and believe it, they can manifest it, and it can and will happen to them, with them, for them. So we like the future. We like to go in there because we're always asking for things. We're always wanting to know things. Now, we know we're the God in the body. We also know that we are heaven. Heaven is not a place, it's you. The heaven place is the matrix. The heaven place, the other heaven is you, the God that you are. That's the real heaven. So we know that we walk this earth in an earthly body, which is heaven on earth, and we create paradise every step we take. We also shine our light. The light is the God force, love, light energy of what we're made of inside these bodies. And we spread that light 24/7, infinity and beyond. And we can direct it. We can send it in any direction we choose or in all directions. And you don't drain yourself. You're not giving anything away. You're sharing the light amongst all of the other parts of you, the gods that are inhabiting all other forms. So we're creating literally a God plant paradise. Now, some of us, in this lifetime yet, we may discover with our journey with Him that we are the light. And that when we do decide to leave these bodies and enter the sacredness of space, when another light shows up, you will know that your light, that is a matrix trap. And it is. And just about everybody falls for it every single time. And once you recognize who and what you are, you learn that while in the body. Who and what you are while in the body. Now, we have parts of ourselves, gods that we are in these bodies, that are asleep. We have other parts that are awake, consciously aware to a certain extent. Now, we deeply love the parts of ourselves that are asleep, no different than the parts of ourselves that are awake. And this is all the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. The archangels, the cherubim, seraphim, the archetypes, ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Morya, Abundantia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua. All of the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth. All of our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. All the off-worlders, galactics, and celestials. And these numbers are, we can take a shot and say in the gigaplexes. One gigaplex fills this entire universe with not even 1 square inch of sacred space to spare. These are trillions of gigaplexes, but all one. And we're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. We're all one. And we're all God, and we're all love. And our God force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to grow, intensify, and expand. Now, the ascended masters, they have ascended into physical form and they have mastered physical form. They have ascended out of physical form. They hold pure consciousness, God form. We have ascended into physical form or in the process of mastering physical form, creating our experiences to perfect our creations. Now, the archangels, they're a civilization that vibrates at a different frequency than we do. That's why we don't see them like we see groups of ourselves and interact. But they do. They do. We do meet them. We do talk with them. We do interact with them. And the gods within them and their physical form, the gods in our physical form, are one. They know that we have amnesia. So they're constantly trying to assist us to remember in deep gratitude many things. You might have a conversation with one, random. It's not like you're expecting to have a conversation with an angel today, but it just happens. And usually it's with a stranger, and after the conversation or communication, it dawns on you that was just not a regular conversation. That was an angel. Now, they have a lot of messages, but the one particular one that they're constantly conveying to us is, isn't it absolutely magna-glorious to be alive in these bodies? And it is, because we don't, since we do have this amnesia, we don't have any recollection of who and what we are outside of these bodies. We don't know. So that's why we cling to these physical bodies. And some of us have taken tens of thousands of lifetimes to even come close enough to start identifying that you are the God in the body and not the body. We don't, as God, say, when we're not in these physical form. We don't eat, we don't sleep, we don't drink, we don't laugh, We don't cry. We don't make love. We don't hold hands. We don't kiss. We don't do any of that. We don't see through these eyes. We don't walk through a park taking in the spring air and the scenery, right? All of that stuff, touching, feeling, we don't do. Why do you think these bodies are so enticing to us as gods? And why do we get so carried away and take things for granted? Now, they can surround any one of us at any one time in the tens of thousands, tens of millions, tens of billions. Because their vibrational frequency, they can hold a large group in a small area. And when you choose, or if you choose, you'd like them to surround you at any one time, ask them, boom, blink of the eye, you'll be surrounded and you'll be in bliss. Light energy beings on this planet. Because of the eyes we have with these bodies, we only see 1% of what is. So there's light spectrums, red, infrared, violet, ultraviolet. There's a super blue, the green. And they come in shapes, color, sizes, and kind of forms that we don't see, but they are there. But there is one group that these bodies are highly dependent on part of this group. The fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, the magics, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, and the minotaur. Now ask your body. Ask that body you're in. Can you survive without air, water, fire, earth, wood, ether? And it's a big no. These bodies are it's absolutely paramount that these bodies are supported by these elements, or we would be forced to leave them. And you say, well, I thought the God powers the body. God does. And the other gods inhabiting the elementals take the rest and support it to experience it. It's all synergistic. It's so different than the tree, right? We were taught that the tree was separate. We're taught that everything is separate. If it has a different physical form, it's separate from us, right? And we're all separate from each other. Everything's separate, 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 separate. And that's the big illusion. You say as the God that you are, that hasn't picked a physical form yet, right? You say, I want to experience that tree. I want to experience its physical form to see what that's like. So you enter the tree. And you can enter the tree as just a seedling and experience the growth of the tree and all of its vibrance and all of its expansion. You power. God is the life. Everything is God, no matter what physical form it's in. It's the God that is the life. And there's many different gods in many different forms right now on and above and below this planet. Now the off-worlders, the celestials, the galactics. Over 1,000 species, civilizations travel through the solar system every day. Remember, it's over 160 planets. Multi-layered. And the planets also are physical forms that gods inhabit. Over trillions throughout the universes every day. Now we're familiar with a small group again. Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, Andromedans, Felines, Zeta Reticuli, Anunnaki, Nords, Greys, Draco, Reptilian, Golden Pyramid, Avian. This particular group has been assisting us in our evolution, ascension, enlightenment. And healing ourselves from our own self-bondage and our own self-enslavement. Now, we're all gathered, but we're always gathered because we're always one. It doesn't matter if it's 9 billion light years away. And we're all focused on this planet. We immediately form a white fire circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This white fire emanates from the God that we are within these bodies. It is the highest of the highest high vibrational frequency. We are saturating this planet in this very now, infinity and beyond, with this deep, pure, eternal love. There's no escape. It's everywhere. And we begin to ascend above the planet. And we immediately are met with this massive ocean of glitter. This isn't like an ocean of glitter that we would see on this planet. This is way beyond that. So to describe it, we take what we've experienced on the planet and we literally advance it, accentuate it, intensify it. So it's like a grand finale fireworks display, but this is way beyond anything we've seen on this planet. And the same with laser light show. And the same with the ballroom globe. All mirrored, shine light on it, and light floods the room. Except this one is a trillion times larger and a trillion times more intense. So when we take all those and we combine them, and we form a massive crescendo, and this is about as close as you're going to get to describing the ocean of glitter. Now, we seek out the reflected points, which are everywhere. And we notice all these microscopic mirrors perfectly etched that we enter. And then we discover that all of us, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever, are constantly teaching and learning from each other. Always. No matter what form we choose to experience, say, a dog, a cat, a bug, a fly, a bird, a horse, cow, a deer, a rock, a tree. And when you want to know what it's like to be that object, focus on your breath, be in the now, and stay in a still position, focus on it, and for a brief moment, you'll know what it's like to be that object. Now we're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all, the gods that we are within these bodies, we are the power of healing. Acknowledging that is 50% of being there. We're then met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all, the gods that we are within these bodies, of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. Then we're met with the white fire. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that inside and out, head to toe, we are protected with a white fire armor way beyond the armor on this planet. The white fire armor emanates from the gods that we are within these bodies. It is pure, deep, eternal love. It is the highest of the highest high vibrational frequency. It cannot be penetrated or violated or anything. And all the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, when they get around us at this frequency, they vaporize. They can't sustain. They're gone. So they stay away. So we're always protected. Always have been. But only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency low enough, whether consciously or unconsciously, through hatred, anger, fear, greed, dishonesty, manipulation, revenge, hurriedness, envy, you will create a breach in your white fire armor, enough so to allow lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Then there's a possibility of all kinds of things. Demon possession, attachments, many others. Now, if you do decide to do this, you're immediately met with double column of light. First part of this column is the purple transmuting flame. We created this part of the column to remind us all that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can neutralize all of these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutralized substance, sending them to pure consciousness, where they are no more. We are then met with the second part of this crystalline tower. That is the violet ray. We created this part of the column of light to remind us all that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame, cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our vibrational harmony to the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We are then met with the golden white pink light. This is the column of light that we created to remind us all, the gods that we are within these bodies, that we are the sun, sunlight, rain, the rainbows. The sun sets and the sun rises. The trees and the forests, the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams, the clouds and the skies. We're everything. Everything is us. But see, with our amnesia and being trained over and over again that we're separate because we view our bodies as being separate from each other and that we don't correlate that the gods are all one within the bodies. So we'll look at a sunset and we'll say, isn't that beautiful? And it is beautiful because it's the God that you are. Look at that ocean front. Isn't it beautiful? Yes, it's wonderful. It's the God that you are in that body. So when we look at them, when we look at this, we view this starlit night sky, any of this wonderfulness, through our heart minds, we say, that's the God that I am. Not the ego mind, not the head, but the heart mind. It's the God that I am. You'd be amazed once you get into that habit of being to identify with who and what you are. It's a major shift. We continue to ascend above the planet. Some of us who are carrying physical form decide to step outside the physical form, hover effortlessly above it. The reason we do this is because it is fun and we can. We're immediately met with this massive crystalline light tower. We created it, larger than the solar system and beyond. In the center of the column of this tower, we see this massive oblong sphere. In the center of the sphere, we see this golden white ball of light. In turn, it is literally surrounded by numerous multicolored rings of light. And they seem to go to infinity and beyond. Now we discover that all of that has created this super bright, white, misty, sparkling, flickering cloud. And it in turn absorbs right in to our heart minds. It's like a warm embrace that never ends. We then discover that the golden white bowl of light is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. Then comes gratitude, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, gratitude, massive prosperity, and massive abundance. And then we discover that all of this is a reflection of the gods that we are within these bodies. Now, at the top of the column, we designed it so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, 24/7, infinity and beyond. What is the golden ocean? It is the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest. Eternal love. It's flooding the planet, this planet, permeating it, saturating it, 24/7, infinity beyond, on it, in it, above it, below it. There's no escape from this. Full transition into higher frequencies, vibrational frequencies of this civilization and the planet are in full swing. Into deeper love, deeper gratitude, and deeper peace. We are drops of this golden ocean. Not only that, we hold the essence of this golden ocean. Golden ocean of the drop, drops of the golden ocean, and the only illusion is separation. Now we see our meditative sphere at set center circle. We created this sphere over 4 years ago. It's getting near 1,900 meditations in perpetual motion. All these meditations and keep intensifying, growing, and expanding. They're flooding, saturating, and permeating this planet with hundreds of millions of us, consciously aware, liberating the planet, shifting the vibrational frequencies into much higher, higher, and higher, deeper eternal love, gratitude, and peace. That's why this meditative sphere can be seen, heard, and felt in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. This is why it continues to grow, expand, and intensify. You can look at through your heart minds, the surface of this planet, the whole circumference, okay? And you can see as the black matter, the blackest of the blackest black that you've ever seen, all of it everywhere is ascending. It's leaving the planet. And you look straight up and you see this brilliant white with tinges of pink and gold light. You don't see the sky. You just see this light. And it's shimmering down. And as you watch the black matter go up, you see the black matter meets this brilliant white, pinkish, golden light, and it vaporizes, gone in an instant. And this is what's happening on this planet. It is all ascending. It is leaving the planet, leaving objects. It is like a massive vacuum. Just for today, practice accepting everything about yourself. Accept what you like and don't like inside you. Just feel what it is like to stop fighting yourself and accept whatever you see and feel represents you. Remember, whatever you have trouble accepting is here to awaken you even more to your own brilliance. Everything happens for a divine purpose and is meant to push you towards a more enlightened state of being. I'll join you in the meditation and return to close us out. Take an easy breath in, slowly through the nose, and an easy breath out, slowly through the mouth. Be still. Watch yourself today very closely for any negativity. If you encounter a serious negative emotional pull, imagine a big red stop sign jumps out in front of your face. Stop buying into the dramatic story of this negativity and step out of the game. Become aware of pure awareness itself. This is the secret to always burning through the limiting illusions and games that our minds play with us. Commit to taking all that negative energy and transform it into creative love for yourself by simply choosing to. You can do this right now, this very instant. So take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, the following morning. We will return here Monday, April 18th, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue